Hello everyone, this is Madhavi Karamodi, Assistant Professor in CSE Department. In this lecture, I'll explain how to write the code for InQ and DQ operations. In the last lecture, we have discussed about what is a queue and what are the operations performed on the queue. Let us see how to insert the element into the queue as well as how to write the code for insertion operation. Okay, let us see the NQ operation. So before going to discuss about NQ operation, let me explain few points about queue data structure. First of all, queue data structure is a linear data structure. So unlike stack, in queue there will be two ends. One end we will use it for insertion, other end we will use it for deletion. In case of stack, we'll have only one end. With that end only we will perform both insertions as well as deletions. But here the queue contains two ends. One end we will call it as rear end. That end we will use it for insertion, and another end we are calling it as front end. This end we will use it for deletion. So this queue data structure follows first in first out principle. That means firstly inserted element will be eligible for deletion first. Firstly inserted element will be deleted first. Of course, the first inserted element will be in the first position. So first position element will be deleted first by using front pointer. Okay, let us see the operations of queue. So here in queue, the insertion operation is called as NQ operation and deletion operation is called as DQ operation. Let us see the NQ operation with example. Just assume that here I have a queue with size 3. That means I can insert only 3 elements into the queue. Now I am implementing queue using arrays. If I am implementing queue using arrays, array indexes always starts from 0 to 2. So 3 locations, right? So as usual, queue contains two ends, rear end as well as front end. Now in this example, initially queue is empty. In queue, if the queue is empty, that empty condition will be represented as front and rear. Both front and rear is equal to -1. Front and rear equal to -1 means queue is empty. Now see, I want to insert 10 into the queue. Okay. First see the algorithm for insertion operation. Algorithm for insertion. First step is check whether the queue is full or not. Full or not. Because if queue is full, we cannot insert the elements into the queue. If queue contains some empty locations, then only we can perform the insertion operation. So how to check whether the queue is full or not? Here the insertion will be done from the rear end. So with rear pointer position only we can identify whether the queue is full or not. So how to verify whether the queue is full or not is, if your rear pointer is in the size -1 position, that indicates that queue is full. Okay. If your rear position is other than size -1, that indicates that queue is not full. In this example, what is the size 3, right? So 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 means 2. If your rear pointer is at index 2, that indicates that queue is full, right? This is the first step. Now second step is if queue is not full, then move the rear pointer to the next available location. So increment the rear pointer by 1, or we can also write like this, rear plus plus. Okay. Increment the rear pointer by 1. That's so that if you increment the rear pointer by 1 means rear pointer points to the next available location. Okay. So after that, wherever the rear pointer is pointing, at that index, insert your value. Whatever value you want to insert. Okay, because from the rear end only we can insert the elements. So after incrementing the rear pointer by 1, wherever your rear pointer is pointing, in that position we can insert the element. These are the 3 steps we need to follow for inserting the elements into the queue. And one more step is, suppose if you are inserting first time, okay, if it is first insertion, after first insertion, along with the front pointer, rear pointer, you should also increment front pointer by 1, because after first insertion your queue is not empty, right? So that is the reason why after first insertion your front pointer should not point to -1. When the front pointer points to -1, if your queue is not having any elements, after first insertion your queue contains one element, so it should not point to the empty look -1. That is the reason why only after first insertion we should increment front pointer also by 1. Next insertions onwards, we should not touch the front pointer, we will increment only rear pointer by 1. So these are the steps we need to follow for inserting the element into the queue. Let us see the code along with the example. Okay, I'll write the code. According to that code, we will insert the elements into the queue. See the function, how to write the code for insertion operation. So in queue, insertion operation is also called as enqueue operation. Okay, so what is the first step? Check whether the queue is full or not. So what is the condition? Rear equal to size minus 1. So here we are checking whether the queue is full or not. If rear equal to size minus 1, that indicates that queue is full. If queue is full, that condition we are calling it as overflow condition. That if queue is full, insertion is not possible. If queue is not full, then what to do? Okay, first time you are inserting. Okay, suppose if you are inserting first time, if you are inserting first time means front pointer points to -1. If front equal to -1, queue is not full, but front equal to -1, in that situation, increment the front pointer by 1. Increment the front pointer by 1. And whatever element you want to insert, we will ask the user to enter the element. Enter the element and read that element from the user. Scanf. So here, now I want to store the reading element, whatever element that I am reading from the user, I want to store it in one variable. So for that purpose I am taking here the variable name as value. Okay, so scanf %d ampersand value. Okay, now I want to insert this value into the queue. So in this example, so here first time I am checking whether the queue is full or not. Queue is not full, right? Now I am coming to the else block. Here I am checking whether front is -1 or not. Yes, front is -1. So increment front pointer by 1. So I am incrementing front pointer. So the front comes to the 0th position. Now I am asking the user to enter the element. Here the user enters 10. I am reading the 10. Okay, whatever value I am reading, that element I need to put into the rear position, or that element I need to put into the queue, right? In queue the insertion will be done from the rear end. So here rear is pointing -1. So we should move rear pointer by 1. Next second step is we should increment rear pointer by 1. So here increment the rear pointer by 1. So rear plus plus, or you can also write like this, rear equal to rear plus 1. Okay, any statement you can write. Okay, now I am incrementing rear pointer by 1, so that rear pointer comes to the 0th position. Now 0th position is empty, right? Now insert that value, that is in our example it is 10. Okay, so insert that value at rear position. So at 0th position we'll insert 10. Right? Now check the same code. Now I want to insert one more element, 20. Now I want to insert one more element, 20. Check whether the queue is full or not. Rear position equal to size minus 1. So rear is at 0th position only. So queue is not full. If queue is not full, simply this if condition will be skipped. Now we will come to the else block. In else block we are checking whether if front is minus 1 or not. Here front is not minus 1. Right? So no need to increment. Okay. Front already in the 0th position. So no need to increment. Next statement. Printf enter the element. So here I am entering 20. Whatever element I am entering, that value will be stored in the variable value. 20 will be stored in the variable value. Now, I should increment rear pointer by 1 for showing next available location. Okay. So, increment the rear pointer by 1. So, rear pointer moves to the next index. Now, wherever the rear pointer is pointing, insert 20 at that position. So, Q of 1 equal to 20. So, the 20 will be inserted here. Right? Insert one more element, 30. Right? As usual, check whether the Q is full or not. Here, rear pointer is pointing 1 only. So, Q is not full. So, this if condition will be skipped. Now, we will come into the else block. Immediately inside the else block, we are checking whether front is minus 1 or not. Okay. Here, front is not minus 1. Front is in 0th position. So, no need to increment this statement. So, this statement will not be executed. Now, come to the next statement. Enter the element. Here I am entering 30. Here I am entering 30. Read the 30. Put it in the variable value. Now, next, increment the rear pointer by 1. So, this rear pointer moves to the next position. Now, wherever the rear pointer is pointing, at that position insert the value 30. Now, Q of 2 equal to 30. Right? Try to insert one more element, 40. Again, as usual, if rear equal to size minus 1, here size minus 1 means 2. Here our rear pointer is pointing 2 only. That means Q is full. In the diagram itself, we can see that there are no empty locations in the queue. Right? In the code also, we are getting the condition that rear is pointing second index. If rear is pointing second index means there are no empty locations in the queue. If there are no empty locations, insertion is not possible. So, this entire else block will be skipped. Okay, it will not be executed. So, close the else block, close the queue function. So, this is all about enqueue operation. Let us see the dequeue operation. See here, now the queue contains 3 elements. Now I want to delete the elements from the queue. So in queue, always the front element will be deleted first. So which is the front element now? Firstly inserted element 10. 10 is in the front position. So first we can delete 10. After that we can delete 20. After that we can delete 30. Right? Let us see the algorithm for deletion operation. Algorithm. First of all, if you want to delete the elements from the queue should not be empty. If queue contains some elements, then only we can delete the elements. Right? So, while performing the dequeue operation or deletion operation on queue, first of all we need to verify whether the queue is empty or not. Okay, if queue is empty, that empty condition we are calling it as underflow condition. Underflow condition. If queue is empty, the deletion is not possible. If queue contains some elements, then only we can delete it, right? So let us see the first step. Check whether queue is empty or not. Queue is empty or not. If queue is empty, how to check whether the queue is empty or not? So, whenever the front pointer is pointing -1, that indicates that queue is empty. Or, rear pointer is pointing -1, that is also empty condition. Okay. Or if front pointer exceeds the or crosses the rear pointer value, okay, then that condition also we are calling it as a empty condition. That I will show with example. Okay, surely I will show these conditions with example. Okay, so how to check whether the Q is empty or not? If your front pointer is pointing -1, that indicates that there are no elements in the Q. If there are some elements in the Q, definitely the front and rear pointer points to some allocations. If there are no elements in the Q, means front pointer is -1 or rear pointer is -1. Or suppose sometimes we have some elements, after deletion of all the elements, in some situation the front pointer crosses the rear position. In that situation, that is also called it as empty condition, because the reason is here, after last element deletion only the front pointer increments by 1. Okay, the front pointer crosses the rear pointer. So that means that after becoming Q empty, the front pointer crosses the rear condition. So these are the 3 conditions we can use it for checking whether the Q is empty or not. You can use all 3 conditions or you can use any one of the condition. Okay, it's your wish. Now second step is, suppose if Q is not empty, if Q is not empty, then what to do? If Q is not empty, what to do? We need to delete first element, right? So delete the first element, delete the element. After deletion, make the next element as front element. Just see in this example, now front pointer is 10. If you want to delete 10, first delete 10. Okay. After deletion of 10, which element becomes next front element? 20. Right? Always front pointer should point to the front position, front element. Okay. That is the reason why after deletion of 10, move the front pointer to the next position or make the next element as front element. So that for that purpose, we need to increment the front pointer by 1. Okay. In case of insertion, before insertion we are incrementing the rear pointer by 1, then we are performing the insertion. But in case of deletion, first delete the element from the front position, next after deletion increment the front pointer by 1. So these are the steps we need to follow for deleting the element from the Q. Let us see the code. For deletion operation. Void. Deletion operation is also called as DQ operation. Void DQ. Okay. So before deletion, first what is the step we need to do? We need to check whether the Q is empty or not. So how to check whether the Q is empty or not? Generally, the deletion operation will be done from the front end only. Okay. Better use the condition with front pointer only. Check the condition with front pointer only. Okay. So if front equal to -1 or front greater than rear. Okay. If any one of these condition is true, or means any one of the condition is true, then we will enter into the block. Okay, if any one of this condition is true, that indicates that Q is empty. Q is empty. On empty Q, we cannot perform the deletion operation. If Q is not empty, then only we can delete the elements. Okay, let us see in this example, front is pointing 0. So this condition is false. Right? So if this condition is false, no need to check this one. Or check this one also. Front greater than rear. Okay. Front value is 0, rear value is 2. So this condition also false. If both are false, means we will not enter into this loop. So next else block. Okay. If front is not, Q is not empty, then what to do? Delete the element from the Q. Okay. So from which position we can delete the element? Wherever the front pointer is pointing. So from From that position, delete the element. Okay, so in the code, how to write that code? Printf deleted element is percentage d, comma, here what is the deleted element? Front element. So q of front. Okay, so this q of front element I am removing. Okay, after removal of 10, this first 0th position becomes empty. Front pointer should not point to the empty location. It should point to the next front element. So which is the next front element? 20. So after deletion, we should increment front pointer by 1. So after deletion, increment the front pointer by 1. That's all. Now see one more example. Now I want to delete 20. Okay. Now what are the positions of front and rear? Front is pointing first index, rear is pointing second index. Okay. Now I want to delete 20. Check the condition. Front is -1, false. Or front greater than rear, false. If this is false, okay, q is not empty. That means else condition. Inside the else condition, here we are deleting the front element. So here it will print the statement like deleted element is, which element? Q of front element. That means deleted element is 20. So the element will be deleted. Now after deletion, we should make the next element as front element. For that we need to move the front pointer by 1. Front equal to front plus 1. So that front moves to the next location. Right? Now one more element. Okay, now I want to delete 30. Check the condition. Front equal to -1, false. Here front is 2. Front greater than rear, false. Front is equal to rear. Okay, so q is not empty. Okay, whenever the front pointer and rear pointer both are pointing to the same location means that will be done in 2 cases. If front and rear both are pointing -1 indicates that it is q is empty. Okay, if front and rear is pointing greater than 0th index, that indicates that q contains 1 element. Okay, don't get confusion here, just leave it. See the diagram and understand this code. So here q is not empty. Then we will enter into the else block. Inside the else block, deleted element is q of front. Which is the q of front element? 30. So it will print the message like deleted element is 30. After that, front moves to the next position. Okay, after deletion of 30, front moves to the next position. Right? Now see the next iteration. Now I want to delete one more element. First I need to check whether the front is full or q is full or not. So here the condition is front equal to -1. Front is not -1. So this condition is true. Okay. Or here next condition, front greater than rear. What is the front index? 3. Okay. Rear index 2. So front value is greater than rear. So this condition false and this condition is true. Here the conditional operator is OR. Okay, that means false or true means false. So we will not enter true. Q is empty. If this condition is true, any one of this condition is true, that indicates that Q is empty. Okay, so if Q is empty, this else block will be skipped. Right? Now, so this is the way to delete the elements. So when the Q becomes empty, whenever the front pointer is -1 or whenever front value is greater than rear value, that situation also we can say it as Q is empty. See, in this case, if front value is 3, rear value is 2, there are no elements in the Q, right? That means if front value is greater than rear condition, that is also called it as empty condition. So this is the way to write the DQ operation. Now see the display function. See the same example. Here the front is in first position and rear is second position. Now our queue contains 3 elements. I want to print all these 3 elements on the screen. Okay, let us see the display function. So first of all, what I need to do is, from the front position, I need to start. I need to print the front element. Then I need to move to the next position. I need to print the second element. Then I need to move to the third position. I need to print the third element. Like that I have to move till the end of the queue. Okay. So here, for moving from one position to another position, I should not take the help of front and rear pointers. Because in queue, always front pointer will point to the first position and rear pointer points to the last position if queue contains some elements. Okay, we should not touch these two, we should not move these 2 pointers. That is the reason why take the help of an additional pointer, any variable I or j or any variable. Use that pointer to move from one position to another position. Okay, so here now I am taking I am taking I. Initially I need to start printing from the front position, right? So initialize I value to the front element, front position element. Okay, after printing front element, I need to move I pointer to the next position, right? So every time after printing that position, that value, I need to move to the I pointer to the next position. So I plus plus. Now till the rear pointer reaches, we need to move I pointer to the next positions, right? So this I pointer should move to the next position till the end of the queue. So that end of the queue will be represented with here rear. Okay. So until the I becomes rear, the I pointer should move. So how to write that condition is, I value less than rear value, print the I value. Or like that I should move till the rear position. So these are the 3 points we need to remember while moving or while printing all the elements of the queue. Let us see the code. Along with the code, I'll explain the example. So first, if you want to display the elements of the queue, first of all, queue should contain some elements. If queue is empty, then nothing to print. So that is the reason why first before performing the display operation, first check whether the queue is empty or not. If queue is empty, we cannot display anything. If queue contains one element, we can display it. If queue is full, we can print it. If queue is empty, then only we cannot print it. So that is the reason why first check whether the queue is empty or not. Okay. How to check whether the queue is empty or not? If front is -1 or rear is -1, then we can say that queue is empty. Or we can also say that if front pointer value is greater than rear pointer value, in that situation also we can say that queue is empty. You can use any one of the condition. Okay. But generally we will start printing from the front position. Okay. Better compare the emptiness or check the empty condition with front pointer only. Okay. So here I am using front pointer only for checking whether the queue is empty or not. If front equal to -1, that indicates that queue is empty. If queue is empty, we cannot print the elements. Nothing to print. Okay. If queue is not empty, okay, that means if queue contains some elements, then only we can print it. Let us see in this example. Okay, queue is not empty. Okay, so take one pointer for moving from one position to another position. Here I am taking I. I should initialize that I to the first position. Okay, from the first position till the last position, I need to print all the elements. Okay, so here I am printing one message like queue elements are are Q elements are okay, Q elements are. Next, okay, here we need to write the condition, or we need to first initialize I value to the front position. So after that, every time after printing I value, I need to move I pointer to the next position. So for that purpose, I need to take one loop. So that procedure I need to continue till the end of the queue. So I need to take one loop. So here I am taking for loop. First I am initializing I value with the front position. Okay, so here my I value is now 0th position. Now this I need to check whether I value is less than rear pointer or not. Less than or equal to rear or not. If I value is less than or equal to rear, then print I value. Printf %d q of I value. Okay, here I value is less than rear only. So wherever the I is pointing, print that value. So here with this printf statement, I can print 10 on the screen. Right? Next, after printing I 10 value, what to do? I need to move this I pointer to the next position. I pointer to the next position. So for that, what I need to write? I need to increment the I value by 1. Increment the I pointer by 1. So that I comes to the next position. Now, I less than rear or not? I value is 1 and it is less than rear only. If this condition is true, then print this I value. Okay, Q of I. After 10, it will print 20. After printing I value will be incremented by 1. Now I moves to the next position. Now again check the condition. Here in for loop, this initialization will be done only once. Okay, every time the second condition will be executed. Now check I less than or equal to rear or not. Here I value is 2, less than, it is not less than 2. So I value is equal to 2. If I value is equal to rear also, print that value, then move. Okay, so this condition satisfied again. Printf Q of I. What is Q of I? Q of 2 is 30. So print 30. After printing 30, again increment the I value by 1. Now I becomes 3. I becomes 3. Now check the condition. I less than or equal to rear. At this moment, this condition failed. Okay, I value is 3. Rear value is 2. This condition failed. If this condition is failed, we will not enter into this for loop. Okay, if this condition is failed means there are no elements in the queue. We have reached the rear position. So after printing all the this is the loop statement for printing all the elements of the queue. So once this is done, close the else block, close the condition display function. So this is the display function. First check whether the queue is empty or not. If queue is not empty, take one pointer I for moving from first position to the last position. Initialize I pointer to the front value. So this I pointer we should move till the end or till the rear position. So if I value is less than or equal to rear, print the I value, then you move to the next position. So this loop will repeats until it reaches the end of the list. So this is the way to display the queue elements. So in this lecture we have discussed about all queue operations code. Queue insertion function we have seen, queue deletion and queue display function. In next video lecture, I will explain the complete program for printing all the for insertion as well as deletion and display functions. So thank you.